Hey guys, I want to talk to you today about no matter who you are loved. You're loved, guys. You might not feel it, but you are loved. But I'm going to start today by just telling you a story. Imagine a young lady dreams of getting married, and she's determined to wait for the right man to come along, which is right, isn't it? But not only that, being a church girl, she's prayed and she waits on the Lord to send that man. Then one day she's in a church service and she notices this shiny sports car is pulling up into the car park, and out of it gets this young man in this amazing suit. He looks the piece, you know what I mean? And he walks over into church, and it just happens that this Sunday morning the church is just jam-packed, right? And only one place left. And so what happens is he comes along and he says, "Hey, excuse me, can I sit next to you? Right? Do you mind if I sit here?" And of course she's going to, no, sit there. And anyway, at the end of the service, what happens is he looks down into her eyes, and as she looks up, this ecstasy, electricity just seems to flow between them. And he politely says to her, "Hey, listen, I'm new in town. Would you show me around, right? Maybe tomorrow?" And she readily agrees, because there's a connection here. And so they go out, they have this amazing date, right? And they go all over the place, just spend time, just like they've been, soulmates all their lives. And then in this meeting, he looks across to her and he just says, "Hey, would you marry me?" Can you imagine what that young lady felt like? I'm sure it'd be ecstasy. I'm sure it'd be excitement. I'm sure it would be, I'm complete, I'm fulfilled, I've met the man of my dreams. Life is different when we know that we're loved. But today we're not here to tell you about a romantic story between a young man and a young lady, but actually we're here to tell you about an eternal God of heaven who loves you. The one who was there before the beginning, the Bible tells us, that created all things, that will be there at the end. A powerful, glorious, beautiful God of heaven who loves you and me. Listen to one of the most famous verses in the Bible. It's in John 3:16. I love this verse. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. I want to go into a deeper thought. The Bible tells us that God loves us not in a sentimental or emotional love. God's love was expressed through real action, not simply promises of affection. But God demonstrates his own love towards us in that while we are still sinners, Christ died for us. We read this in Romans 4:8. God so loved us not only in word, but actually in truth and in deed. In other words, in action. He became a man and died for you so that you could be with him for eternity in his glorious home. Now that is real love, a life to save a life. I heard a story of a husband who always told his wife that he loved her, but she always doubted it until one day a thief, a burglar, broke into the house, and as the burglar pulled a gun, her husband dived into the path of the pointed gun. From that day, you see, the wife knew that her husband loved her. His actions convinced her, not his words. In John 14:13, we read, "Greater love has no one than this, that to lay down one's life for his friends." You may not have experienced true, genuine love here on earth in your relationship, but our first piece of wonderful news, and it is amazing, no matter who you are, God himself loves